All right. All right. All right. All right. Shalom. Shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. Today is a lovely evening and it is 8:33 p.m. And I'm coming to you this evening because I was really pretty much taking care of a lot of important business and I was feeling good about it. And in the process of it, I had my TV on and just going through YouTube, and I decided to just listen to this one young man. He's no young man, but yeah, he's not a young man, but I think he is Ricardo or with GOCC. Uh, he is the head of GOCC. These are the situations I have been informing you of. The flesh being the head and not letting Christ, Hamashiach, be the head of the church and the body. What I'm running up on is something I have spoken to you all over and over again about the twos. And what I see in the twos is there is a flesh that has a head and it has a body. It has its own church and its own saints. Okay? They are of the flesh. And then there is the true church and the saints that's under the body of Hamashiach, under the body of Christ. So what I'm coming to embrace, that means I have to salute it and accept that it is a fact that there are two. Uh, and the reason why I come to that full understanding is where we at. Okay. If you're not seeing spirit and truth and you don't have any light and you still leading the multitude in much darkness, then therefore you are born of the flesh. And no one is going to be able to tell you that you are, because you have for so long led the multitude through the broad gate to believe that you are the head of the church and the body, which you call your church and your own saints. These are not saints that's under the body of Hamashiach. These are not the church under the body of Hamashiach. These are people who are under all these male leaders and rulers and kings and all of these people who are portrayed to be such a powerful head. And I'm sitting down doing all these important papers and feeling good about myself. I really was feeling good because it's things that I got so far behind. And through the grace and the mercy of the Most High God, I'm able to kind of catch up. And I was feeling good about catching up with some things. But once I got to this here, I had to kind of, I went downward. And then the Father spoke to me, Deborah, what did I tell you early today? It is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Stay in your lane. Get in your lane, baby. I know it's hard, but don't forget, I gave you the endurance spirit. So you'll be okay. And what he's saying is, I'm sitting here listening to Gocc Ricardo, I think that's his name, and it hurts to see our Negro men so far from any truth, so far from any light, so far from spirit and truth. And then I sit back and I say, Father, so many people are following this man. This man got academy teaching. And I've heard him say so many things that I know for a fact is not spirit and truth, nor does it carry any light. So I'm sitting here listening to him, and we're going to cover exactly the chapter in which he was uh, in. He was in Ezekiel chapter 37. And he connect Ezekiel chapter 37. Father, help me. Help your child. Please help me. Woo. Thank you for helping me. Let me not say help me, Father. Thank you, Father, for helping me. Thank you for ushering that endurance spirit because I sure appreciate it. I can feel it pulling me on, helping me up. Get up, Deborah. Come on, you can do this. So this GOCC, the Gathering of Christ Church, that's what the GOCC stands for. And I said, Father, did not you just say that that's it? And you mean they gonna pull in that? I mean, just so far. So he took Ezekiel 37 and starting from verse 15, I'm gonna show you what he was speaking of, and then I'm going to show you how he was full of lies. Just bear with me and help me along, please. Just bear with me because this stuff is kind of heavy for me because I know that wicked and evil has its time right now. It's day. And we shouldn't be teaching people lies. But then you can't say it's a lie. But when you lied, so no, yeah, you can't say a lie. If you done led the multitude, you done led them in a lie. Because you got them all to follow you. And this is what I try to explain to you about all of these people out here teaching and preaching on this on these YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and all this stuff that they're on. Just because they got a lot of followers, you're following them to the narrow gate. The great falling away has taken place among them. That means when you great falling away, mean you ain't got a chance in the world. You have fallen away. It's just like Babylon has fallen. You think Babylon got a chance after it says that Babylon has fallen? Babylon can't stand a chance because it has fallen. So that's the same way with the great falling away, people. You won't stand a chance because you fell away from what is spirit and truth and the light to follow ahead of the flesh of a man. So you have no other way back. You have already fallen away from spirit and truth and the light. How did you fall away? Following the flesh of a man that told you he was your head. He taught you in academy. He teach you in this book. He leads you and he showed you, he tell you everything, and you have never given the Most High Yah none of your time in your spirit because your flesh was so busy following the flesh of a head of a man. So let's go there. GOCC was teaching this evening out of Ezekiel 37, and let's cover it. And I'm going to show you why Sister Deborah say it's sad. In Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15, we're speaking of GOCC, the Gathering of Christ Church. Verse 15, Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 15. The word of Yah came again unto me, saying, this is Ezekiel. Moreover, thy son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, companions. Now, we in verse 17, Ezekiel 37. And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand. And when the children of the people shall speak unto thee, saying, will thou not show us what thou meanest by this? Say unto them, thus said Ahiah, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribe of Israel, his fellows, and I will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. Verse 21. No, verse 20. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in my hand before their eyes. 21. And say unto them, thou said Ahiah, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathens, whether they be gone, and gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. Verse 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountain of Israel, and one king shall be the king of them all. They shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. I want to explain something to you. I want you to go back to Ezekiel 37 and let's cover verse 14. In verse 14, it reads, and say, no. In verse 14, Ezekiel 37, verse 14, and shall put my spirit in you, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, Ahiah, have spoken it and performed it, said Ahiah. The Father was saying to Ezekiel regarding the dry bones. Here is showing you how he's going to put his spirit in them. Even though he asked Ezekiel to prophesy to the wind that it shall, on the four winds, it shall breathe the breath upon the slain that they may live. That's what's the dry bones. Okay. Now, after that, the Father says in 14, and I will put my spirit in you. You see? Those are the dry bones he's speaking of. Okay? When he dropped to 15, he's speaking of the stick and bringing Judah and Jerusalem, Joseph and Ephraim, them all into one. I sat there and listened to this man break this thing down in one of the most wicked of the wickedest way. See, a lot of people don't understand who those dry bones are. You cannot take those dry bones and make it the dry bones in the during the time where they were led out of their promised land, and many lost their lives, and many was dispersed to different four corners. You can't take those people that have died and bring them back and say that these are the dry bones. They are not the dry bones. These sounds like the dry bones that fought with David in the army, the military. He said these going to be men. Okay, men. So they sound like, and one other thing I want you to know that it's talking about men because in Ezekiel 37, it says an exceedingly great army. That was David's army. That consists of the dry bones. I know we want to make it who we want to say it is. But what bothers me is how GOCC has an academy and teaching people at the level of wickedness. It hurt me to see that, y'all. It hurt me to see. Let me tell you what he did with it. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 15 to 22. He said, it is a good thing that the people come over here, the migrants. The Yah is bringing them over here to gather with us so that we may teach them. How is it you in any Israel or how can the tribe of Judah teach anybody anything when they doing the most crime of any nation, the most wicked of any nation? Why would Yah bring these migrants over here and turn them over to you? This is GOCC. He's saying that the migrants that's coming over are our people coming to join us. Even though they're going to have served different gods, we are going to teach them. How you going to teach them and you ain't even taught spirit and truth? How you going to teach them and you ain't taught light? How oh my God. The Father told me it is so many men in the tribe of Judah that's going to be remaining here on the land of Babylon. They're going to be destroyed right here on this land. All you have to do is go back to Deuteronomy 28 and read it. He's telling you that. Go to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 25, telling you again, they ain't coming up out of here. So now it's just like, I see, Father, they can't come out of Babylon. Not with the spirit that rests there on them. How dare you teach academy, teach schools, be big dog. All you did was place your head as the body that's leading the people astray. He's saying the migrants that's coming in this country has to do with the stick, joining the stick, Judah and Israel, Joseph and Ephraim. All of this is Yah doing, bringing them over here like it's, how is it the land in which it has not treated you just? Why is the Father going to bring them to a land that has not even, that he has cursed you to come to, that has not even treated you with just? But he gonna bring all Israel over to you so that you can teach them who they are. Because you have categorized everybody to be the house of Israel all on your own. I want to tell y'all something that y'all might not understand, and I know y'all don't, and you're not going to. Yah never called nobody in the nation to get all the house of Israel into one. The tribe of Judah, that's why I sit and tell y'all, I was called to work, to judge, to speak to the tribe of Judah. He didn't say, go find the other tribes and teach to them. Give them spirit and truth, Deborah. Show them the light. That's not even how he does things. He already knows that he has dispersed Judah all over the place. And they don't even have the sense to collect their own tribe and bring them into one. They don't even have the sense to come together into one under the body of Hamashiach. But you're thinking now, this Negro with GOCC. He said the migrants that's coming out, all them thousands of migrants are our people. Coming over here so that we can teach them who they are. Where do you see that? He come from Ezekiel 37. Where do Ezekiel 37 says that? Ezekiel 37 is telling Ezekiel the prophet, the Father is giving him in the spirit, in the spiritual vision, how he's going to put the house of Israel back together in the land. Why would y'all bring them over here where he's about to destroy so that they can learn from your tale? I sat there and I said, Father, thank you for your endurance spirit, because I sure need it around about now. Thank you, Father. And then this quiet voice says, this is the Negroes of the tribe of Judah mindset. They're going to be left right here in this land. Too many of them, he said, have led the multitude astray. Too many of them have marched in the broad gate, happily, proud, boasting, self-centered, self-motivated, chest stuck out, thinking they really rulers and leaders, and they leading the people straight through the broad gate. You all listen to them. GOCC is called Gathering of the Christ Church. He came from Ezekiel 37, saying that the Father is bringing all these migrants over here because they really are people. Oh my God. It doesn't say that nowhere here. Nothing I just read, you said that. It's showing you how he was showing Ezekiel how after he clear up those dry bones and get them together in the vision, I'm going to get Judah, Joseph, Ephraim, Israel into one over in the promised land. And then he said here, listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. Ezekiel chapter 37 and 21. And said unto them, thus said Ahiah, behold, that means look, Ezekiel, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathens, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. How did this man think that Yah is sending them here so that he could teach them who they are? And this is where Yah gonna gather the house of Israel from this land. Oh, Father, if you all could feel my spirit, y'all. Let's go to Revelation 18. If you all could feel my spirit, it is such in great sorrow. Even though the endurance spirit is helping it a great deal, but it's sad. It's sad because this is the Negro daughter are telling women to shut up, keep silent. You're not supposed to speak. Leading the people for many years, traveling at the expense of everybody's pocket. People are feeding and supporting this type of person. They look at me like I'm stupid because I say something regarding support. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, Father, how could this be? Deborah, this is their day. Let them shine. This is their day. Okay, Father. Revelation chapter 18. In Revelation chapter 18 is telling you exactly who these people are that's coming over to this land. The reason why you cannot look at them coming over here as a great thing is because in the end days, everybody's supposed to return to their own land, their own country. You see how dumb this man is? Now listen to this. Revelation chapter 18, verse 1, and it reads, "And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having a great power, and the earth was lightened with glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become a habitation of devils." This is what the angels in Revelation 8 is saying. Habitation is residing, a place they're going to stay, of devils. Of devils, y'all. This is who these migrants are. They are fulfilling, binding, and all of them who have opened up the borders to let them in, they know they are fulfilling this word. They know it. That's how I say it's sad to see Negro men not know nothing. But Satan crew knew it all. They fulfilling this. It didn't say that the angel come down from heaven with having great power and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is falling. Is falling. Is fallen. And is become the habitation of devils. And the holding is holding every foul spirit. Do y'all know what a foul spirit is? Wicked and evil at its highest. Spirits. Spirits, y'all. And a cage of every unclean, hateful bird. This is what's coming and has came into the United States of America. And you running your tail around here talking about the Father is sending them over here so your doing tail can teach them who they are. That's a foolish, demonic spirit that can speak that power into the spirit of many. Anytime somebody can speak something like that to nationwide television and they don't budge, he didn't misled a multitude of people straight into the tunnel of darkness. And that don't have anything to do with the migraines coming in. He's thinking he's going to get an opportunity to minister to them that they are the people. That's what he said. That's what he said, y'all. Where is it telling you that he bringing Israel to the United States? He said Judah is in the United States in the four corners. How is he bringing Israel over to the United States? You see how sick he is? Because these men have put themselves ahead and they have took on a saying that the body in the church is under their control, their rulership, their leadership, their power. And the people sat right there up under them as if they were God himself and the power of God. I don't know if his name Ricardo of Gocc, the gathering of the Christ Church, that man is sicker than sick. But I always knew something was wrong with him because I was able to box his eyes. If I couldn't box his eyes and just heard him by word, I still would have been able to, to discern him. But because the gift of boxing them eyes, I can look at them. Box them eyes. That was it. That was it. And that's a gift from the Most High, y'all. To be able to box the eyes. The box says this is a spirit that you should never trust. When you're able to box it. If you're not able to box it, it's not saying that they can't be a still that spirit. But he is one person that when I first got onto YouTube, I was able to box his eyes and I stayed away from him. Big time. Big time. Okay? So when you get to Revelation 18 in verse 2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice. This is the angel that came down, that having great power. He cried with a loud voice, Babylon the great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the holding, something is holding every foul spirit here in this land. And unclean, a cage. Notice the word cage. Prison. Prisoners. Once they get over here, they'll never return back. They're going to be held prisoner here. The reason why they did it of unclean is unclean and hateful bird. What is this Negro don't understand? Ricardo with Gocc. What is it he don't understand? How you going to be able to deal with that? See, he don't know nothing about revelation. He don't know nothing about spirit and truth. He don't have the light with him. So he didn't know this here is here, and you're supposed to match this with that you see that's happening. Instead, he matches it with Ezekiel 37, saying that they are the people that the Father is bringing over here, so the house of the tribe of Judah can teach them who they are. Oh my God! So when I see this here, let me go to verse 3. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. I want to tell you right there. Let's go back. See, I need to get off these devil platforms. I need to get off of YouTube. Because it's not going to be my downfall. Not what I'm seeing on here. Not what I'm hearing and seeing and beholding as a prophetess in the wilderness. I need to get off of here. Because the words that I'm speaking is too potent. It's too much like spirit and truth. So my prayer is going to be that from this day on. I know how to get off, but I'm going to pray to the Father to help me to stay off. Because it's time to get up off of here. You're giving too much spirit and truth, and there's no light out there to see. All pitch darkness. And then when the Father say this is Satan's day, it's about time to pull off. Because you've been on here long enough for even those that you've been taught, pick up their baton and run and start a page or start witnessing and being who they are in y'all. But they ain't going nowhere. They still stay right on here, waiting for another message, but haven't gone anywhere. I heard a prophet last week say, they reaping where they have not sown. Do not give people your space, your time, your ears, no nothing that has been given to you, because they are weeping where they have not sown. When that sister was teaching that, I mean, she was teaching it with all boldness. And she said, that's what's going on. Listen to this. In verse 3 of Revelation chapter 18, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Why did that say that? When it talks about, in verse 2, a habitation of devils, foul spirits, unclean, and hateful birds. Notice the word cage. That's what they bringing him up here in here for. They're gonna cage him pretty soon, and they might use them for mind experiments and all other things, but they got to play a role here in Matthew's 24. Father, I just want to thank you for your mark. Thank you, Father. Thank you. Thank you for all the ones that you have marked. Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 7. Nations shall rise against nations and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famine, pestilence, and earthquake in divers places. And then he said, Yeshua told him, all of these are the beginning of sorrow. Now, this is when he says beginning of sorrow, I want you to understand, this is not Ezekiel. This is not Jeremiah. This is not Isaiah. This is not Solomon. This is not Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is not David. This is not all the other prophets saying this. This is coming out of Yeshua's mouth, letting you know. And if Yeshua have to say sorrow, you as a human being can't even think and imagine what that sorrow would be like, because it's coming from Yeshua. Now, if he say it's the beginning of sorrow, you might not be able to handle it because it's coming from a spiritual realm of sorrow. So it's coming from a spiritual realm. It's got to be greater in the flesh than it is in the spirit. You see what I'm saying? So he's telling you in verse 7, this is the purging. This is where they're going to have y'all killing each other. You want to be a nation? You want to call yourself, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite? Hold up. You're going to be fighting against your own right now. You're killing your own brothers and sisters and your women right now. But then y'all going to send all these migraine over for you to teach them who they are. And you ain't even taught the Negroes here how to control their hateful spirits, they murderous spirits, and all this foul, hateful spirit that in them. You ain't even taught them here. So you think Yah is going to bring these migrants over for you to tell them that they are the people? You's a fool, and you're going to remain the fool, because we are in the end. Now here in Matthew 24 and verse 7 tells the story. A lot of y'all will try to escape. 99 million of the Israel would escape that. They would escape it by not reading it. But they would feel the impact because it's coming to them. In Babylon, it's going to be nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, its own. That's what the government, the power that rules the world, and Satan has in plan. They're already covering all their ends. What do you mean, Deborah? Let me say this here. The powers of this earth have read Revelation 18, y'all. See how dumb our Negro men are? They are dumber than dumb. They didn't read Revelation 18. They are fulfilling it as we speak. They're fulfilling it. Don't you see? They closing the banks. They gonna take all your rights. They took closed down everything just about. They killed the animal, the cows, the pigs. They destroyed all the the land, the crops. They doing it all. They doing it up, y'all. All in Revelation 18. That angel is telling you what's taking place. And who's already making sure it come to play? The system, the elites, the government that works with the system. Satan's right-hand power is seeing it come to play. Revelation 18. Y'all Negroes sitting y'all tails out there thinking, oh, y'all tearing him up. He gonna destroy them. No, they're gonna destroy themselves. Because it is the will of the Father that these things must come to pass, even if they got to destroy themselves. Now, those that's destroying and fulfilling 18, guess what? They already sent all the money over in Scotland and all over in other countries. They underground living. They just calling the shot on the top. So they ain't worried about this. That's why they can fulfill this. That's why they are fulfilling it. You all don't see all the migrants coming here. Negroes today sitting here trying to talk about, well, I got my land, I got these. They coming out to your land. They coming out to your place. That's why I said to you all, people just is just sick and evil and wicked and hateful. No, they ain't gonna come up on the land if one is sealed. But you cannot say that my wife sealed, my husband sealed, and all my children sealed, my mama sealed, my daddy sealed, my grandparents sealed, my cousins sealed. No, you can't. And if anybody's on that land that ain't sealed, they have the right to pull up on it. See, that's what the people didn't understand. They still don't understand. They have every right because everybody is not sealed in your household because you think you sealed. You see, that's what they don't understand. And because people have the hateful heart as me and mine, this is mine. I'm growing for mine. I'm saving. I'm buying. I'm getting for me and mine. No, baby, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. You think all these people they bringing over here is coming over here just to be in the city? Did you know the Gentiles thought that too? And that's why they fired up. Because they took them over in their land, they over in their area too, and they are what they call pissed off. Because they thought it was going to be something that just over among us. But they didn't disperse them everywhere. And when they get to the point where they're just traveling and going, you never know. They can come in 6 in the van. And the person that drives the van says, I'm going to drop y'all right here. You have to get out. They can get out right where your location is at. You don't know what's on these men mind, these women mind, but let me tell you what's on it. Revelation chapter 18. It is become the habitation of devils and the whole fowl of spirits and the cage of every unclean, hateful bird. So if our Negroes teaching our Negro men to be hateful toward their women, let me tell you something, baby. They coming for you. Because these people that came over here, those migrants, they coming from mental hospitals. They coming from prisons. You see? They coming from the streets. They coming as murderers, rapers. That's why their country letting them come. Because the United States is the cage that's going to hold these unclean, hateful birds. That's going to be, and it's going to be their habitation of devils. How do you say that, Deborah? Bump back up to Revelation 18, which we're in, verse 2. Babylon has fallen. They're only talking about Babylon. They're telling you what it's going to become. And it's already. And you all can't even see it. So I suggest people, like I said before, the more you're connected under the body of Hamashiach, the more you will survive. But y'all ain't going to pull up and give everybody in your church the seal. Because you're not the seal. And even if you were, Yah has already sealed his. And his is not yours. Same thing with a family. He ain't saying that all the one in your house is sealed because you say you seal. Everybody else is sealed. See, nobody's paying any attention to the seal. Those in Revelation chapter 8 is sealed for their protection. But you can't say that for everybody. You can't say that for your grandmother. You can't say that for your grandfather. You can't say that for your teacher. You can't say that for your neighbors. You can't say that for your co-workers. You can't say that for your daughter. You can't say that for your son. You can't say that for your wife. You can't say that for your husband. These fools probably even thinking the dog is sealed if you leave it to them. That's just how gone Israel. Now Israel, let me stop talking to you, Israel, the tribe of Judah. I'm here as a judge toward the house of Israel. You see? So therefore, I know what I'm talking about. And that's why Sister Deborah speaks so strong in what she said. And somewhere along the line, I got to get off this platform because I'm seeing too much following Proverbs 16, verse 4, in the lane where Satan's day is this day. Too many following it. In the tribe of Judah. They killing each other and nobody says nothing. And nobody preach it, nobody teach it. But people will get on this devil platform and tell you what they selling out of the stores. What somebody married, this white lady married this black man married this white lady. Oh, this person died. What the rat's behind? You know what? I taught a lesson on Facebook about people who sit and moan death. Let me tell you one thing. When people expound and climb on top of death as if it is something so unusual, so out of character, you got some serious issues with your spirit. You really do. You really do. So when they was talking about, he told them to follow him, and they said, wait a minute, let me go and bury my father. Wait a minute, let the dead bury the dead. Your mouth should stay off of dead people. It's called witchcraft and sorcery. You don't know you speaking that, but that's what you're doing. People don't even know that. I had to teach half an hour on Facebook. I was teaching that to people because I'm sick of people talking about death. People are in a place of sleep, waiting to come before the throne for judgment. They can't be in hell today because what's the sense of coming before the throne and the books are open if you're already in hell? What's the sense of coming telling you to get back in hell? It don't make sense. Leave the dead that sleep, that rest alone. We all got to die from something. When you are in spirit and truth and in the light, you understand death is likened to life. You can't die until you live. They are hand in hand from the creation of the hand of the Father. You got a right shoe and a left shoe you put on. Do you go outside the door with just your right shoe on and not your left? If you wore glasses, do you break one side and only wear the other side? When you use your hands, do you only use one all your life or do you use both? If you wanted to put on some gloves, what, you going to go out in the cold with one glove on? Well, that's what death is. Death has been assigned by the Most High Yah. He don't give a rat's behind how you die, but that you got to die. When a person dies, you got to understand when the Father sent death for his breath from that individual, it's already counted in that day. You think death's going to say, oh, well, no, they too young, or, oh, he flying a plane. No. It's about death obeying Yah. Take that breath and he bring it right back to the bosom of the Most High Yah. Obey it. We can't obey what he created. That's what he said in the beginning, in the garden. That's why I say we talk like we know this thing. We so in tune with truth. You ain't in tune with nothing. Because in the Garden of Eve, when he told him don't eat, when he do, he will die. So why is it that death is so frightening today? And curious to why and how can this be? Oh, somebody had to do something or something had to be going wrong. No, shut your mouth. Life is death is in the palm of the Father's hand. Let it be. People want to talk about death. Some things it's best left alone because you're playing witchcraft and sorcery. Well, what do you mean by that? How is it one is playing witchcraft and sorcery? See, that is when he created life. He says, when he created at the beginning, it was supposed to be all just life itself. But when sin came in, then death was brought in. So now death and life is hand in hand. And he said, when you're born, you cry. But when you die, you rejoice. You don't have the ability to say who's heaven and hell when one died. So he said, just think, they're in a sleep. So no more pain, no more suffering, no more nothing. But when they born a few hours, few days, full of trouble. That's when you're supposed to cry, when they born. But the sick minds of those who get on this devil platform and teach time after time after time, the way they speak is ignorant. No, let me not say ignorant. It's dark to me. Because you would think people have been on this devil platform long enough to know by now. So what happens? Death is not something we must ride up and down in with our emotions and our feelings. If I had to lose someone, it would hurt me dearly. Oh, it would hurt me dearly. Yes, it would. I am also entitled to moan. But after the moaning should come laughter. This person don't have to continue to see what I'm still living to see. When people go back into death and make it an emotion and a feeling thing, it's because that's how the world, and this don't have nothing to do with Babylon, but the world have taught you how to respond to the things in which the Father created in the outer area of the way he created. Always the way Satan want to do it. When you're born, you cry. When you die, you rejoice. They don't want to do that. Even if a person's suffering, it still is so emotional and so hurting. Because they looking at the suffering. They ain't looking at that person is gone to no more suffering. They don't look at it like that. That's witchcraft and sorcery. Because people want to play sad, emotional, and feelings without looking at the whole overall of situations. Sometimes I'm just like saying, Father, they're not going to ever get it, are they? Even when they say they got it. And they leading the multitude on this devil platform. They still won't get it. And the reason why I spoke of death, people better leave it alone, is because I have two nieces whose daddy, one has died a year and something, and the other one has died, I think it should be, 6 months? Might not even been that long, but something like that. Not all, probably 3 or 4 months. But every word that they speak is daddy, daddy, both nieces, daddy, daddy. Oh, I wish I missed my dad. Okay, you miss your daddy. Think of how many years the Father has given you to have a daddy. Not only did you have a daddy, you had a relationship with your daddy. You know how many millions of people who ain't never seen their daddy? You got to count all those blessings in which your daddy has given you. And let it defeat the sadness and the emotions that you experience. Know that life comes with death. And we all going to go that way. But we must teach those that are here even as we are still here, to know how to let go and let Yah way of creation be done. And like I said, it's no, I had the event and I had my niece. She was there at the event and she had everybody crying. And I looked at her, she came right over to me, crying. You know what I did? I did just like this here and walked away. It's witchcraft and sorcery, getting everybody caught up in your feelings and in your emotions. Guess what, baby? The Father have created a day for Satan and wicked and evil. You got a lot of tears to shed. Hold up. Hold up a little while longer. You'll never think about your daddy ever again once you see what is before us. Don't play with death. Let them rest. You the one that's left here with the chaos and the darkness. While you boo-hooing to regarding he that rest. Be careful. Leave death alone. Let it take its course of the Father's creation. And that bothered me. I did a video on Facebook regarding death. People don't know how to leave it alone. Leave it alone. When it had to been probably 28 years ago, I was coming down Highway 70 and I said to the Father, and I was crying. And I said, Father, Miss Graham is passing away. She got cancer and she's suffering. Oh, Father, please. Why do she have to suffer so much? She's your child. Woman always been in the church. Always one of them pleasant, soft-spoken, kind women. And she had to probably been about 60-something years old, close to her 70s. And I'm just crying. The Father told me, wait a minute, hold up. What's wrong with you? I'm on the highway. I said, Father, why do she have to suffer into death? That's what I said to him. Why do she have to suffer into death? He said, Deborah, you never will understand what happened in suffering that bring people closer to me. And then he began to tell me, if I was concerned about how, this is what he said, this is what the Spirit of the Most High Yah said to me about 28, 29 years ago. He said, if I was concerned about how one suffered and one died, why would I let the Son of Man suffer the way that he did just to die? When he said that to me, I pulled over, I wiped my eyes, and when the Father talked to me like that, I go into repentance. Because I step over my boundaries in my emotions. And that is so true. He said, if you all really understood how he suffered and he died for you all. But yet I'm going to be concerned about how everybody else is dying. But I'm going to send him down to die for y'all. Was I concerned then? That's what he was saying to me. Getting me to understand. And really it's not getting me to understand. It's called getting me to feel that thing. You know how I be telling y'all, you got to feel that thing. He was getting me to feel that thing. Because that's where the problem is at. We don't feel that thing. We speak on it. We talk about it. We always got something to say about it. But you got to feel that thing. You got to feel that thing. And I appreciate him taking that time to say that to me, because I wiped my eyes. And next thing I know, I think she died like a week later, and I went to her funeral. Yes. Yep. I sure did. And I just thank him for that, because that's something I never thought of it like that, you know. If I was caught up in the way people have to get up out of here, because I'm taking my breath back, Yeshua wouldn't have to go through all that he went through. He would have just died. But then he suffered. See? He just threw it right back at me. And I thank him for that. That's what you call being ready to learn from the Ruach HaKodesh. You want to throw questions to the Ruach? Oh, he's going to throw them right back at you with the answer. But the good thing about the answer is spirit and truth. It's the truth of the whole matter. So, see, Sister Deborah ain't just now learned the truth of the whole matter. Sister Deborah been knowing the truth of the whole matter since she was a little girl. It's just that I had to endure it alone while everybody else teach their belief and what they say and what they believe. So Sister Deborah been enduring this thing for quite a long time. So I hope you got something out of it. And I hope what I said has helped you, but it just hurt my little spirit, child. It hurt my little spirit to know these Negro men. That's why they want women to shut their mouths and keep close. And these women is as silly can be. This is not the time, baby. He said he's going to pour out his spirit. And pouring out his spirit is not telling somebody to control what you got to say when he pour his spirit out on you. They don't have the right. See, they want to live back in Torah and bring it up until today. Torah didn't have a spirit living in him then. But today we do. And what is that spirit? All power. What is that spirit? The word. What is that spirit? Will teach you all things. What is that spirit? Reveal things to you. What is that spirit? Show you things to come. What is that spirit? Comfort you. Tell me what in Torah had that. All right, Sister Deborah said, shalom and shalom.